world. I like going to sleep with a pure heart and knowing that I'm good for the planet. But truthfully, I think everything you do, no matter what it is, has a selfish motivation. Even if you go and give money to charity today, you're doing it so you feel good.
Facts.
That's why you're doing it. Everything is selfishly motivated. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a philanthropist. I feel good when I help people. That's why I do it. It's not just about helping them. It's also because of how I feel. And also when I meet interesting people and I get good friends and powerful individuals join the war room, for example, that benefits me massively. Now my network's expanded. So it's certainly selfishly motivated, but it's not money. And yeah, I think there's inside of every single man, there's definitely a rebel. There's definitely a warrior. It doesn't matter if you were a punk rock rebel in the 70s or you were one of the rebels of Rome who just said, fuck this, let's go burn it. There's something inside of you that's a bit of a rebel. And if you're a red-blooded male and you see the world we live in today and how the Matrix is suppressing us all, you want to rebel. And I think part of it is, yeah, certainly I feel good knowing I'm doing my little bit to piss them off. In fact, I'm not doing a little bit. I've done a lot. I've done too much. But yeah, that's the answer to the question.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you want me to say this on stream, but beforehand, I wasn't supposed to be on this. And I'm wondering how much of that was testing, initiating, and how much of that was the rebel inside of you thinking, fuck it, man, bring him on.
Yeah, let me give you a very quick example. During the height of, for fuck's sake, the subject we're not supposed to talk about. We weren't supposed to leave our houses, right? So, and we weren't supposed to go driving. We weren't allowed to go out the house and drive. Even here in Romania, you couldn't drive without a piece of paper, a specific piece of paper. And every morning I woke up and just start burning around the city in the Porsche. And Tristan used to go to me, and I used to come back with all these fucking papers, and they tried to impound the car. Cops used to come to the gate, and I just get a different car and go out again next day. And Tristan goes, "Why do you keep doing this? It's just headache." I said, I can't just do what I'm supposed to do. They told me what to do, and I can't just do it. I have to not do it, because then when all this insanity goes down and some fucking poor matrix slave misses the funeral of his own fucking parent because he's a dumbass and believes it all, I can know that I tried my best, even though he's an idiot, even though he's a moron, I tried my best to resist the enslavement. It's like living with a pure heart. It's a real thing. Like all this shit went down, and I can say here now with a pure heart on this stream that I resisted more than 99.9% of people on the planet. I got arrested in Germany. I got fines every day. I broke every single rule. I broke every single law. I had a birthday party in the height of COVID that was all over fucking YouTube. We had fucking 100 people in a hotel. I bribed the mayor off. Like I did anything it took to break the rules. And that made me feel good about myself. So yeah, was it really to wake people up and help them to stop them being slaves? Or was it because I had a selfish motivation and I felt good inside of myself knowing I'm not a dumbass? I think we're all semi-selfishly motivated if you're honest.
100%. Myron?
So for me, I'm going to be painfully honest about this, I guess. Before, when I started streaming, as you guys know, I used to work in law enforcement for DHS. I did criminal investigations. And for me, I got a great sense of satisfaction from doing those cases and, doing that job. But then I started my fitness business, and then from there started the YouTube, and I wanted more influence. Let's be honest here. You want clout, you want to bang some hoes. It is what it is, right? And from there, I was like, okay, this is great. And then at some point they pulled me in. They're like, hey, listen, your YouTube, you're talking about some crazy stuff. You know what it may be. You're talking about dating and all this other stuff. Oh my God, men and women are not equal and all this other stuff. Things that we know that are factually correct. They took offense to it, right? I'm talking about biological differences and intersexual dynamics, and they didn't like that. So they kind of put me in a position and said, hey, listen, you can resign, or you can, and keep doing your thing, or you can stay here, but you can't do the YouTube thing anymore. So I made a decision. I took a bet on myself, and I left the G. And, I was like, yeah, I could do this, and, I'm going to make more money, whatever, and get more girls. But it evolved way more to that. As you guys know, I'm a hardcore minimalist. I don't own many things in general. I still drive around in my 2002 Honda. So it started for money and girls. I'm not going to lie to y'all. But then as I've been doing this more and more and, impacting guys' lives and helping them realize yo, I finally have a bigger brother. You're like a father figure to me. Like you helped me, get into a law enforcement. Or you're the one that told me to not do drugs. I thought about doing drugs, and I'm not doing them anymore. I'm staying natural instead of doing steroids. I was going to hurt myself, but off of this girl, but I'm not going to do it anymore. You can't really put a price on that. So it started, right? Just like when you go to the gym, you first go to the gym to get girls and, get jacked and fuck a bunch of bitches. Then you continue to go and you feel good and you get this certain sense of accomplishment, and it gets way more than just the girl. So for me, I started streaming to make more money, get influence. Then as I started streaming, right, and I left my government job, I thought it was the end of the world. I realized, holy shit, we have a duty to these guys to help them out, especially in a crazy ass world where the Matrix is taking over essentially. And a lot of guys are told to pretty much act like women, and it's acceptable. And the reality is you can't act like a woman. It's unacceptable. And if anything, it's going to set you up for failure.
Well said.
Amazing answer. You got any questions from the chat for us?
Yeah, I mean, oh man, a lot of stuff came in, guys. Sorry, I'm doing a million things at once. And guys, here's the thing: I'm gonna kill the Facebook stream right now and Twitch. So come on over to YouTube, and then we're gonna kill the YouTube stream coming in very soon as well. And you guys are all gonna have to go to Rumble. So I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes to go ahead, but go on over to Rumble, guys. It's rumble.com/Tate Speech because it's gonna be exclusive on Rumble here in a few minutes. But yeah, I can go ahead and pull up one of these questions. Do you want to hit the next one, Andrew, before I pull up the next one?
Let's get the question because the next one's going to be a long answer.
A long one. Okay, so we got
lying. Who was capping the most?
Yeah,
who's capping the most? And we got almost 20K live on YouTube, and then I think we got another 27K on Rumble. So guys, get ready to switch on over to Rumble here in a little bit.
All-time high.
Yeah, we had a lot of good questions come through, but I didn't want to interrupt the panel. Give me a second here so I can pull a good one up, Andrew.
I got a question for the panel.
Sure.
So, guys on the panel, what is your description of a moneymaker for 2022? Something you can consider, like, you know what? If you're young coming up in life, what can you do to make money right now?
That's a good question. I can answer. Do you want? Should I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I think that we live in an attention economy. I think that people who can garner attention are going to be good at making money one way or another. I think we now live in a world where you have spectators and you have people who produce. The world is split in a binary divide between the two. And not everybody is designed to be a producer. Some people are designed to be a spectator. Obviously I am a producer naturally by heart because I've lived a very diverse life. I have a lot to say and I consider, it doesn't matter what I consider. People consider my words valuable, obviously. So here I am. But if I was a spectator, let's say, and I didn't feel like I had the confidence or the knowledge or the charisma to sit on a camera and interest people, then I would try my very best to prove myself useful to a creator. And by joining their ecosystem and working alongside them, that's probably the best and easiest way to make money. There's a whole bunch of people out there that have the star factor, but they don't have the systems and the teams around them to truly be successful. So I would come along and say, listen, you can be the showman. I'll be the blood and guts underneath. And we can do very, very well. I truly still believe, as fucked as the world is with the matrix and the suppression and the inflation and the Fed and all the shit we talk about, if you're a person who can turn up on time with a firm handshake, who is genuinely competent, who doesn't lie to anybody, you're going to be fine. You're never going to starve. You're always going to be able to make good money if you're a genuinely honest, hardworking person. I've never met a honest, hardworking person who will be there at 9 a.m. like you ask him to be, who completely fails at life.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people who are still out here failing, they have a bunch of excuses. And yeah, we talk about how hard it is and it's true. But if you're genuinely about it and you can find somebody with that star factor and align yourself to them, I think you could make money no matter who you are. That's, I think, the best way to make money.
So basically be a YouTuber. It's
not about being a YouTuber. It hasn't even got to be a YouTuber. It can be anything. It can be you can find a fucking star salesman and find a way to help his ass. I'm saying you don't always have to be the star. The biggest mistake a lot of people make is, and especially in the Western world, because I talk about this all the time. I was speaking about this with somebody else. I was saying America's strength and its weakness is the same thing. America's strength is that everybody is taught they're so unique and special and valuable. And that's why but this is why America does so fantastic in, let's say, the Olympics, right? Because everyone believes that they can be a sports star and everyone works so hard, etc. This is why you have so many talented people, so many creatives, so many movie directors, etc. Because everyone's told they're fantastic. But the truth is not everybody's fantastic. And the people who are not fantastic end up frustrated. And that's why you have so much fucking crime, rob a bank, get rich or die trying, gangsters, gangbangers. Because there's a whole bunch of people in America who think they're too good for a job, and they are really not too good for a fucking job. That's the truth. Whereas if you look at other cultures, it's the difference, right? If you go to Asia or you go to some of these other places, you'll go to school. The very talented kids will be taken to the side. You're the top 1%. You're going to a separate class. And if you're not put in that separate class, you know you ain't shit. You're just like, okay, I'm working in the factory. Yes, sir. That's my job. And you're just going to do your job because the ego ain't there. So the ego is a fantastic thing for America, but it's also a detriment. So it can play both ways. But
I think if you know the value that you bring to the world, you understand what you bring, then you could kind of put yourself in a position to win, because we're not all going to be, like you said, leaders. Some people are followers.
But this is my point. When everyone has an ego, everyone wants to be the king on the chessboard.
Yeah.
You don't win the chess game by having endless kings. That just gives you a bunch of vulnerabilities. Everyone has to know their role and play it. I've played the role of fucking pawn, knight, my whole life. I was pawn, knight, bishop, rook. You know, I played them all.
But you always wanted to be the king.
It's not that I wanted to be. It's that if you're truly destined to be, you'll end up in a position where you're going to be seen as a king of your empire, wherever your empire is or whatever it is. God has a plan for all of us. My plan was to do my job to the best of my ability, whatever my job was at the time. People call me arrogant, etc., etc. I spent fucking 11 years obeying my coach like he was God. Run here, Okay, 7 miles, 4 a.m. Oh, fuck. All right. I just listened. I didn't get successful by running my mouth. I didn't get successful by knowing everything. I got successful by listening. I listened to my father my entire life. I listened to my coach my entire life. I just done exactly as I was told. He said punch. He said jab. I jabbed. That was it. So I just obeyed. So I played my part and played my role for a very long time before I got to a position now where I have, I don't know, a total of maybe 60, 70 people working for me across all these different industries. And now I'm the king of the empire, blah, blah, blah. But